wish I could go traveling again. It feels like this summer will never end.
She's originally from South Orange, New Jersey, attended the Newark Academy in New Jersey. Also, the Guildhall School of Music and Drama in London. That's where she honed her skills, paid her dues in the clubs and cafes of London. Lita and I first came across this wonderfully talented singer back in 1997. And her first album was Close Your Eyes. She has not looked back. As you can probably tell, full disclosure, Lita and I are huge fans of our next guest. Singer-songwriter, award-winning Stacey Kent. Welcome to our city tonight.
Great to be here.
Oh, Stacey, we are such big fans. I'm just going to mention that first album that you did with your husband, that actually became the best-selling British jazz album of 1997. And you know, the accolades are endless. We could spend the whole show basically talking about all the awards that you've won. Now, you speak 5 languages, you sing and speak in 5 languages. Your repertoire includes American standards, French chanson, your original tunes, but also Brazilian music. Tell us a little bit about what your most impactful jazz influence has been as growing up and becoming a singer.
Yeah, I love that you mention all these things because, you know, these days, look, we all just throw ourselves into the pot with all sorts of music from all sorts of genres, and they make their way into our music. When I was a kid growing up, I was listening to everything from what my older brothers and sisters were listening to, so kind of more folk music, hippie music, you know, and also things like Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young were way more important to me than anything that my friends were listening to. And also, you want to be like your older siblings, right? So you're always aspiring to that older generation. Then also, I grew up listening to the Frank Sinatra channel on the radio, and Fred Astaire movies, and Rosemary Clooney movies, and then Willie Nelson, and all the things that I heard out west as well, and the Beach Boys, and then all the music from my grandfather, who grew up in France and then came to America and insisted that he keep France in the house. That's how my language relationship started. He only ever spoke to me in French, my grandfather, and he taught me about Léa Ferré and all of these great French composers. And so I'm just a mix of so many different kinds of music just because it happened naturally that way.
Hey, Stacey, one of the things we've discovered over the last year with musicians and singer-songwriters we've talked to is, of course, COVID. It's great to see people pivot and alter their game plan because fans still want to see you. You've got a spectacular website. You always are pumping out music and videos. Talk a bit about what the last year has been like. We're going to get into your new album later in the interview, but how's the last year been for you in reaching your fans? Because you've got fans all over the world. Talk a bit about the challenges and the success you've had in that area.
Well, crazy year, intensely crazy for all of us and for different people at different levels. For some people, this has been a terrible year of suffering. For other people, kind of more of an inconvenience. You know, we're a mixed bag out there of people dealing with COVID. But the thing is, we're all dealing with COVID. That even being this cut off this year, and we are really cut off, we go to the market every 3 weeks and we fill up our fridge and then that's it. We don't see anybody. But thanks to the internet, I get to have these people in my life and I'm there for them. And people have come to me to say, I'm stressed out, I'm upset, I'm down, you know, all sorts of things. And they rely on us for music. What that's given us is a focus because we're off. Thankfully, Jim and I have our studio here and we can make music. So we started recording these singles to put them out for people, just to make people feel good and hopeful and calm and, you know, at ease. I mean, that's kind of what I'm here for on the planet. So it's been a weird year, hard and also kind of good. I mean, I feel that contact with people, and maybe I'm hoping that we come out on the other side of this and we still continue to feel that community. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Now, Stacey, you're no stranger to collaboration for sure. Your orchestral sessions with 58 other musicians, beautiful work there. But I also want to mention, every time we seem to pick up a collaboration of jazz, you're on it. The Punta Maya, for instance, you are in many, many of those. It's always a pleasure to see you and hear you on one of these CDs. It's just amazing. You're everywhere.
I love that. I mean, listen, I'm here. I'm going to say it again. I'm here on the planet to make music. And if it makes people feel a certain something, if it speaks to people in a certain way, then that is my job done. But no, it's not done. It's never done. And I want to say one more thing about being home during COVID. We're recording. We're also getting to work on a lot of things that we wouldn't otherwise have worked on. And it gives me an opportunity to kind of catch up because we're always on tour. You know, I'm working to be a better singer. You know, I want to be a better singer today than I was 3 years ago. And in 3 years from now, be a better singer than I am today. It's constant growth. So of course I want my music out there. Sometimes I'm going to be honest with you, because why not? Sometimes the things I've done can make me cringe. You know, I think, oh God, but this is a path. We're all on a path. And I'm continuing to grow. So, you know, there are some songs I will go back to and re-record, not just because I didn't like the version, because sometimes I did love the version, but just because I'm in a different place and I have a different perspective. And, you know, you want to keep working on things.
Let's talk about working on things. As Lita said, we probably your biggest fans. We've got a very large Stacey Kent collection in our homes. Let's talk a bit about the new album, which I guess you've slated for the fall of this year. You've got a couple coming up, but we want to mention Summer Me, Winter Me. I also want to mention for viewers to go check out your really beautiful version of the legendary Bill Withers' Lovely Day. I also know you've done a version of Landslide, which is one of Lita's favorite songs from Fleetwood Mac. Can you tell us, update us on the next 6 months, the new album, plural, I think you were mentioning before we went on the air. What can people expect between now and next fall?
So things got a little confusing, of course, because we had to cancel the release that was due in September 2020 and put it into this year. And we had already slated for something in 2022. So there's just a lot of music all coming at once. Summer Me, Winter Me, I don't know exactly when it's coming out. We've already recorded it and it's ready to go. So as soon as we have a tour, we're going to put it out. The other thing that we're doing that is really important to me and so close to my heart is that Art Hirahara, my pianist, with whom I've been playing longer than any other musician, apart from Jim Tomlinson, my husband, Art and I have wanted to make a duet record for years, and we're always too busy. And this year gave us the opportunity. It's actually working pretty great. He's working from New York. He's recording from his home. I record here. Jim is producing it. You know, we have such a good dialogue. We can do this from afar. Would we prefer to be in a studio together? Sure, because we're chummy. But it's actually working fine to be apart. And we're putting out these songs called Songs from Other Places, which is a series. Right now, it's just a series of singles every 3 weeks that we're putting out. We started with Lovely Day. We started with those songs earlier on that aren't part of this collection. I know it's kind of confusing, but Songs from Other Places is because Art and I are in 2 different places, and all of us are dreaming of getting out there while we're locked down. So the atmosphere is the Landslide song that we put out already, the Tomlinson Ishiguro songs, Jim and Ish, Kazuo Ishiguro, the novelist, have written some new songs for me that are on this that just transport you automatically. This is a project that I've wanted to do for so long. I have to say, I'm so thrilled that it's going to come out, and it's going to be on the heels of the other one. And it's been really special to have these songs to create every 3 weeks, release them as singles. I mean, I never would have put out singles like this had it not been for the pandemic, but it's a big mishmash for people, but at least what they know is they're going to get a lot of content from me in the next year.
We're excited, and bring it on. It's never too much music from you, Stacey.
Hey, we should mention, I believe, Stacey, I mean, we don't want to embarrass you with the amount of awards you've won all over the world, but Lita and I were saying, I think you are the first guest we've ever had on our show that is actually an award winner of the Order of Arts and Letters in France. So congratulations on that. And yeah, it's been a great thrill having you on this show. We will have all of Stacey's information in the closing credits. As I've said to Lita many times, she's tired of me saying this, but Stacey Kent's voice, it's so smooth it can melt the ice cube in your cocktail, as far as I'm concerned. So thank you very much for joining us, Stacey. We wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing you on tour. And come to Vancouver when you get back out on the road.
We'll be there as soon as possible. Thank you so much for having me on. Great to talk to you guys.
You too, Stacey. Cheers.
Thanks.
I wish I could go traveling again.